Garmalgath, and welcome to the Minister here with us today. It's great to, I suppose, sort of see the numbers of SNAs, Minister, and I suppose some of the questions really that I would have here maybe is if you want to comment maybe on some of the increases that we've seen in the last couple of years. I know that in my own local area of Roscommon and Galway that's had a huge impact. We're seeing a lot more schools that are offering special needs classes, and that there's more, I suppose, that children are brought into the mainstream, that we're dealing with inclusion. And that's what all of this is down to. It's about that we are treating people in the same way and that they're getting the same access, and that we have those special supports in place. And that's the special needs assistants that are providing us with the opportunity to be able to include children in our mainstream classes. Minister, if I can ask you perhaps maybe around the numbers in the last year to 2 years, and I suppose just around the budgets in relation to that as well. Minister, it's very important, like with so many roles in our society, that qualifications are a way to acknowledge the work and the effort, of course, that's done by so many people. And like so many, even with healthcare assistants and so on, it can be sometimes seen as unseen, the work that's done. But we know very much so that special needs assistants work with the teachers in the class, they work with the principals, they're an integral part of the school. And I suppose that, you know, it is a new addition probably to the teaching staff within a school. But like many things, I suppose, being able to acknowledge the practical experience, so many courses now, particularly in ETBs, have recognition of prior learning, but where the special needs assistants can be acknowledged in terms of the role that they do. Minister, I know that there's certain training programs as well that have been rolled out recently for special needs assistants, so perhaps you might comment on the training programs that are there currently as well that will support people within these roles to provide the best care that they can and reach their potential in terms of their role. Garmalgath.
Yeah, so first of all, just I think you mentioned around the amount of SNAs. Obviously, you'll know that from 2011 we've an increase of 81% in terms of the SNAs that we now have. So by the end of the year, we'll have 19,169. Just in Galway and Roscommon, there's 15 special classes in Galway and 5 in Roscommon. But just for your own information, the figures that I have from the 31st of May in terms of SNAs, we've 11,174.79 in mainstream and 4,613 and 92 in special classes and 2,775 in special schools. So that'll give you an indication, I suppose, of how they're actually spread out across the different type of placements that we have. It's important to say as well around the minimum qualifications that, we know what the qualifications are. It's at least a pass in Maths, Irish and English, a junior cert or equivalent. But I don't think that has taken away from the calibre of SNA that we have had, or that we have. And I think it's important to point that out. You also, I think, just mentioned around the training programme that the main one we have at the moment is the UCD training programme. We put a 2.54 million into that, and we'll be training 3,500 by the end of it, 6 different modules, inclusive education for kids with special education. They learn about language and communication, about autism, about dealing with medical and complex needs, about promoting positive behaviour and self-regulation, and also around professional development of SNAs themselves. And we promote it primarily through the NCSE and programme teams and on social media as well. And it's a 4-year contract that we have with UCD, and I think it's the start of more that we can do in that area.
That's fantastic, Minister. I think it's really good to hear, and it's good to get the breakdown in numbers. I suppose Ballinasloe, where we are, we would have a number of primary schools that have special classes, and we also have one of the only, I think, is it 120 or so special needs schools that we have across the country. One of those is based in Ballinasloe as well, dealing with children with sort of severe to profound special needs. So I think it's really crucial that we have those services, but to see that so many, that over 11,000 are in our main classes, and then that you have nearly 4,500 roughly, or a bit above, in special classes. It just shows how crucial it is that we have our SNAs. And as you've said there, that it's reaching over 19,000 to provide SNAs, providing, close to the guts of nearly 16,000 children. So we have 19,000 SNAs dealing with nearly 16,000 children that you've mentioned there. in terms of the breakdown of the service that's been offered. I think it's really important that we continue on this sort of supports for our schools, particularly in encouraging our schools to take on special classes and to ensure that they have the resources and capacity to be able to take children in, because that's been a huge issue. And I just want to thank you as well for the work that you're doing with schools across the country in ensuring capacity for children with special needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.